you?
I kind of want that bit to happen, you know. So I kind of want that bit to happen. So I kind of want to see that 2-1 in favor for Kingdom.
Oh, okay. I love it. Oh, is this now? Okay, this is now our official draft here, Abstract.
Yep.
So, Angela, I think this is the first pick. Usually we see right now here, Angela, current patch, cooldown reduced to 20 seconds. Insane. That's why it's always been banned, but now it's pretty much open here, and Evil will take advantage of this one. And look at how the response coming in from the side of Kingdom Esports, Chip, as well as Yes and Shin.
Okay, so they even locked in the Lunox coming in for their third pick. So Lunox, understandably, when it comes down to being able to melt down tanks, is pretty darn annoying. We also do have an Esmeralda on the opposite side. So at this point in time, it doesn't really quite suggest as to how they will want to play into the later stages or what they are exactly going to be looking at as of now. But I definitely want to say that that Esmeralda would do a pretty good job in the XP lane, since there is no CC to be found for now. You can't exactly deal with the Esmeralda that much, but there is still quite a fair bit of XP lanes we can play around with.
Yeah, that is true, especially against the Chip as well. Chip's teleport, remember, Chip is pretty viable in this current patch as well. It's going to be easy for him to teleport from one lane to another, thus giving him gold opportunities as well to give vision into his team. So it is one of the conditions coming in from the side of Kingdom Esports, having Yi and Shin on the jungle as well. Most likely, Lunox going. And they can have also the counter here on the top on the EXP. We've seen here Ruby, however, is pretty much open as well, especially they have Lancelot on the other side coming in from the side of Team Evil.
The hunt begins.
Okay, it's gonna be bad.
Yeah, your foul mouth.
There you go, unfortunately.
So, taking a look at all the XP lanes available, we gotta have to talk a bit more about KE's potential picks, right?
Yes.
Gato Kacha is still available.
Nope. Banned already.
Yes, sorry, I'm blind, excuse me.
For the Kingdom, this
Lapu?
one- Yes,
yeah.
I know he's pretty good as well.
Yeah,
Lapu.
So Lapu is one thing, Allah's ban, CC's ban.
Alice. Okay, we have a revamp Alice in this current patch as well. Remember the ultimate last patch? It's now going to be a passive coming in from this hero. So just a Crimson stacks and it will be activating
Oh,
it. And
damn.
they will for it here. So to be honest, Alice doesn't have really the damage capability, but the sustain is insane here, Abstract. So with this revamp coming in from the Alice, it's going to be easy for her as well to rank up those Crimson stacks, gives the HP vamp coming in from her side, and the ultimate right now gives out incredible crowd control. However, they have to look out for that long cooldown of his over skill 1. So it's really going into some mechanics coming in from the side of Kingdom Esports.
So that means, okay, so Alice picked once, won once, if I recall correctly. So, wow, I don't know about this, but Khalid.
Yeah, this is great.
Okay,
when I give the word.
Khalid and a 1-1.
Wow, this is great. Khalid right now, again,
Very divey, huh?
Very divey, which again, in this current patch, enables the team composition who love to dive, who love to be aggressive. Plus, this is coming in from the Angela is insane, and another Bane!
Bane gold!
Bane this time around will have his flicker.
Okay. He's got his flicker. He's got his flicker.
Yes. So now, Gold, Bane, Mid, Lunox, Alice, EXP.
It's gonna be a Mage Bane, right?
Yes.
They have 3 magical damage dealers.
I was saying, I think many players right now are considering magic build because again, magic damage enables early to mid. So this patch enables those teams who are very aggressive in the early on. Snowball effect actually just give so much credibility for all the teams right now in winning matches.
Yeah, so do what they can for the early game power spikes.
Yes.
Mages generally have got a great power spike once, like especially mid laners, right? Level 2, that's a power spike.
True.
You will be able to do magic. Get it?
Wow.
Get it? Do magic. E-magic. You know, around the battlefield. I'm so sorry. But yeah, they get themselves powered up a little bit early and then try to end the game before, what, 15 minutes?
Hopefully.
Yeah. unless you are able to really get a snowball well enough to kind of force the opponents to a really tough spot, whereby 17 minutes game end is still okay because they haven't, the opponents haven't really quite gotten the critical mass, but it varies from game to game.
Yeah, and remember, there's a Flying Cloud right now, so Flying Cloud is also the combat potential or the high ground defense, so hopefully we're going to see some kind of tricky strategies on how this teams are going to use. But again, for the side of Team Evil, I love their compositions here, especially with the Khalid and Angela here. Sustain is insane. I think this is a battle of sustain, and burst damage.
Right, but what else am I going to be looking out for from the KE side? Like, we've got the dive, we've got the sustain, but what does KE have got to do to kind of deal with that?
So I can see, of course, KE right now, they don't have as much crowd control needed, especially catching Aether on the Lancelot. This is one of the advantage coming in from the side of Evil, because Aether right now on the Lancelot, he has so much dashes here. The only crowd control that he can rely really is for Drin's Sanity here to use her ultimate, but that is very tricky. It's channeling spell.
Oh, demobilize onto Lawsy. Zayla, the first blood queen being Angela, will actually be able to get that first blood onto Lawsy. Small little dent in the side of KE, but it's not going to be that big of a deal. Well, in the meantime, up in the top lane, 4 men coming in from Evil, just going to be dropping themselves onto the Insanity. The rest of the members just going to be flowing back in. Sayla takes the first death, and for coming in next is going to... Actually, that's not the first one. There's a total of 3 deaths coming in for the side of Evil.
Oh man, Evil, that was a great opening here, but then again, Kingdom Esports did dirty on the counter-attack, triple on Yawn, and this is
slain the turtle.
Plus now the turtle as well. We are talking about the snowball effect, the meta of being aggressive in the early stages of the game. And now Kingdom Esports just did that dirty against super.
KE is like, yeah, you can take Lolzy, no problem. We don't care. We'll take 3 others.
Oh man, the quick response coming in from Kingdom Esports here, recognizing how they bounce back on the early stage again. Remember, of course, this is still under 3 minutes, having Khalid as well as the Angela, especially now the older ones are up. This is going to be interesting on how they're going to fight in a 5v5.
Yeah, sure. Well, in the meantime, this is literally an entire village that's going to be jumping in. Powerful takes an L as FMM will be able to slay him down pretty darn easily.
Yeah, that's the beauty of having a chip as well. It's going to be easy for all the team members to go into a team fight there. Surprise attack and recognizing here coming in from the side of Lolzy. Now, on the top side, though, we haven't seen the gear going into such 5v5. We need that AoE damage coming in from gear. However, still, surprisingly, it is Lolzy dictating the tempo despite having his death on the first minutes of the game.
This is going to be tough for Evil in terms of the effect, right? Because both powerful as well as gear, it is actually kind of like a skill shot crowd control. With powerful being the only one that is a true stun, everyone else is either immobilized or root in this case. Falling Star as well as the puppet strings from Sailor. So in terms of initiation, it relies a lot on Khalid's Flicker plus Alt to really land something in order for gear to follow up. So there is no way for them to kind of go either or kind of situation. It must be powerful style.
Oh man, look at first here.
This is Van goes straight down to the hands of Yawn, but it doesn't mean the powerful really wants to come in and cut them off by the hope that he will be able to do something. The Vena will still go down, but at least Yawn will take an L from that as we do have some skill and manage to go for a tangent of trade. Powerful hops onto his sand, runs away, leaving Gear all alone, but he does have a full of the shield for him to be able to do much, popping and forcing FMM going into brilliance, while we also do have the hard gun that will be targeting right on here to keep him alive a little bit longer, but fortunately this will only let FMM off the hook.
You can see that one now abstract. That is the beauty of having a magic-based team composition. The damage in the early stage of the game really hurts so hard. You have seen that one, but there. However, now in the turtle pit, it is Evil trying to zone out your Kingdom.
As you have here, moving on the outside, allowing Aether to pick up the turtle easily. But you have to do have some with the bounce on that for everyone else to just quickly in, as well as the baby shot. Not exactly that baby, but Aether just gonna be all around place, almost getting F. There we go. He will be able to get double, but at the cost of his own life, giving one triple kill instead. Ren pops back in. He has to kill down onto Lolzy, and they both teams, they will survive with just 2 men left on the battle.
Oh man, this meta abstract, it really benefits here. The brawl, the team fighting, all this mayhem that we are now seeing, especially between this composition here. Magic base damage here, AoE is coming in the side of Kingdom Esports. On the other side too, we have the Assassin here and the scaling coming in from the Van later on. But so far right now, when it comes to early to mid, snowball effect is in favor for the side of Kingdom Esports. But look at this one, Van, once the optimization will be in his 1-1, it's going to be difficult for Kingdom Esports to stop him. Again, crowd control, yes, they do have the Lolzy, they do have Drain Sanity here, but without the so hard crowd control, they can only rely for this bash coming in from Lolzy.
There's really a lot of damage in the early game that Kingdom Esports can play for themselves, right? Even when it comes down to Lolzy, that guy, Chip, has got a lot of damage right in his sleeve. So, honestly, you gotta be really afraid of Kingdom, but surprisingly, Evil is actually doing a really good job actually just holding out, right? Because, yes, they are 4-man down for the entirety of the game, but when it comes down to the economy, they are not that far ahead. In fact, they are just, what, 200 gold behind only.
Oh, below. They're going to dive here. Pain is somehow
dead.
Dead.
Indeed. That is a good dive. After all, it is Singular that managed to pop off a hard guard, giving a thick amount of shields, but a little bit of a fight back coming from FMM, popping into Brilliance, be able to get that 1 kill on the Ven. Very, very valuable. Back to the top lane though, Drain Sanity, Lolzy as well as Yawn. We're hoping that they will be able to do something here, but this is an Esmeralda that we're talking about. Being able to just charge up on the shields and just be alive for an extended period of time. Just kind of pulling Drain Sanity over to the western part of the Turtle, and now down to the southern. At least he does have the Flowing Blood to allow Drain Sanity to run a little bit farther away, just so that he would not be caught in between of the entire roster of Evil. Teleport, an extended team fight continues. Aether gets himself the Turtle. The entirety of Kingdom Esports, unfortunately, would not be able to do much to stop Aether.
Yeah, that's going to be a sacrifice coming in from Gear here. They have successfully taken the Turtle in that situation here with Kingdom Esports again. They have the damage that you have mentioned, but Evil is not backing out. Still, they have been performing very aggressively here against the side of Kingdom Esports. We have to look out for the late game situation here, Abstract. Ven is still a 1-1. It is going to be scary indeed for this hero. However, of course, oh, the ultimate has been used here. This is going to be an opening for me on the side of Kingdom Esports to actually push through.
Honestly, this game is as balanced as we can think about. But there we go. That is going to be the shortcut. It's just going to be popping the rest of the members from the side of the kingdom to immediately pop Gear off. This guy, he has been, you know, unbeatable to a certain extent. You know, okay, 2 for 1. He's been dying, but he's got a lot of shields and he has been buying a little bit too much time in favor for Evil.
And fortunately here for Evil, they have been picked again and again by Lolzy. Perfect timing on his vision game. The teleports is indeed giving so much opportunity for Kingdom Esports also to have those pick of plays. Now Evil on the other side, they don't want that to happen time and time again. I'm not sure if they're going to drag this game out. We have seen the damage coming inside of Leader as well. They have to push through. They have to go for the pick of plays, but Kingdom Esports is giving it away for free.
The fact that now they're going to be pushing down to the top lane as much as possible. Vander gets a kill down on Lolzy and might be able to come back a little bit more, but he's actually been getting a bit too big for his shield. But never mind, because right on that fact, we got Powerful just going to be coming straight in with a great ultimate. They'll be able to hold everyone down to the ground. Aether picks up 1, picks up 2, and we'll be able to wipe out the entirety of Kingdom Esports in one fell swoop.
Oh my goodness, that was a beauty there coming in from Evil. Perfect timing for the crossbow tanks and the big bam boom on the raging sandstorm. A 3-man stun just sweeping away against the side of Kingdom Esports. And look at how Team Evil is now rising on the kind of plays. That is one of the books there.
That is not a defense, but that is an engagement. But the rest of the members coming from the side of Kingdom Esports wants to go for a little bit more. As the shortcut has been brought in, they managed to get a kill down on the Aether shortly after taking the Lord.
Oh man, Kingdom Esports That was really a big blunder, I can say, for this team. But then again, they tried to bounce back on that surprise attack coming in from the side of Lolzy. Unfortunately, here, Evil still managed to go back. And now this is now the Lord into their favor. Oh, here, out of position.
But he's gonna be fine. He's still got a lot of shields for himself to work with. Lolzy is already down to lower than half HP, and Ben will be able to get a kill down onto him immediately. With a double kill that's just gonna be credited over to Ben. Almost getting a kill down on the Grant instead. But Insanity, now in the midst of the entirety of Evil, he still managed to get himself running away with a quick little flicker. They're just gonna be putting themselves right underneath the T2 turret. They fight back. They're ready to do a lot, especially before it comes down to Alice. Now Yawn picks up one. There's 4 men left from the side of Evil. The entirety of Kingdom Esports wants to push the rest of the members from the Evil back. But now Van picks up a kill onto Yawn. A little bit too much for Kingdom Esports to handle.
Wow, so much action we're seeing here. It is a beauty to see 2 teams rolling it out on the first game of the series. And then right now we can see the potential of the carry 1-1 in the later stages of the game. Once the crossbow of tanks pops up, especially on a 5v5 situation, it's really difficult for Kingdom Esports to pick off this carry all throughout. And we've seen the damage coming in from Van, plus the Malefic gun right now being secured coming in from this player is gonna hurt so much.
Oh man, let's talk about our itemizations, shall we? As when it comes down to economy, we got the 1-1 definitely super rich, man.
Yes.
Getting a lot of kills, 7 kills to his name already so far. It does have the corrosion size, the Windtalker, Harsh Claws, and still building up to the next one.
Yeah, I thought he built Malefic gun there. There was an icon there.
There we go, Malefic gun.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now Malefic gun has been secured. Great range. And attack damage as well. Now Kingdom Esports, they have been very aggressive in the early stages of the game, especially Lolzy on his teleport plays. Now it has been mitigated. Evil right now, very much prepared, especially right now that Van so much farmed on his 1-1. They need some pickoff. You mentioned about this abstract, they need some crowd control here, but it's impossible to stay for Van, especially with that the heals and the ultimate coming in from the Angela, just proving so much sustainability as well. It's difficult for them to burst down.
I kind of feel as though for Kingdom Esports, it also seemed a little bit counterintuitive with the way that they play, right? Because it is a chip after all.
Yep.
The moment you pop up with a shortcut, everyone wants to swarm into the portal. But that is, well, ironically, exactly what Evil wants you to do. Because we have Gear and we have Powerful. Both are playing an Esmeralda and the Khalid respectively. So they kind of want everyone to be in a very small space at the same time.
That is true. That is true. But they have to. That's why they have to rely for the side of Kingdom Esports burst damage. They need to end it quickly. Once the prolonged team fight goes in, it's also in favorable for the side of Team Evil to do such a thing. So, however, right now, they need some kind of flanking maneuvers here. We've seen that one coming in from Lolzy in the early to mid stage of the game. Look at this one. Lolzy trying to have this flanking maneuver, but it's not going to be easy for now. Look at the formation coming in from the side of Team Evil. All flanks has been secured. Defensive line been pushed as well.
As now the Lord falls below half HP, but none of these teams are too interested in trying to get into critical health. For now, Evil finds Drinsanity, but they're not exactly putting too much emphasis onto bring Drinsanity down, knowing just how annoying an Alice can be. Everyone is just kind of floating around.
And I've seen also FMM trying to push the waves on the bottom side. However, Angela is in the base just in case for this push to happen here. But remember, the global ultimate auto flicker has been used here. This is big. And Team Evil, what is the shot call here? Oh no? They're trying to pull on the dance.
Yeah, I mean, it's understandable. That flicker is kind of necessary because he was a little bit too far off, right? Van could have gotten a free ultimate the moment that Lolzy goes a little bit too far off. Well, in the meantime, I do really like the fact that, yes, they are using Angela. But hold on a second, Aether gets the lockdown once again. And now we've got FMM that even dove all the way down to the bottom. You don't even care about the portal as the fight is ongoing still between Kingdom Esports as well as Evil. They want to hold Evil down as long as possible, but unfortunately there will be a lot that will be marching down in the middle lane, so they can't even do anything from that point. Well, Ven picks up a triple with 4 men down for the side of Kingdom Esports, leaving Drinsanity all alone. The entirety of Evil will now march down in the middle lane, while Drinsanity hold down the entire lane of creeps in the middle lane, while still having a lot of help to work with. But there is still a Lord that will be marching in. Drinsanity can't do anything else about this Lord. As such, They will lose the T3 tower right in the middle lane, but right enough time for Longzy to come back in. This will be more than enough to push the entirety of Evil away, maybe. But now, Insanity, he hold himself a little bit long enough, but Longzy has got no health to work with. Evil comes in with the Lord, just gonna be knocking right in onto the core, but it's not quite enough. Wait, it is enough for them to end it.
Oh man, Team Evil, there you go. That is going to be the first game secured coming in from this team. And what an insane opening game we have, Abstract. It was brawl all throughout, sustained game, burst damage, and everyone is out there trying to get the win.
Oh man, oh man.
Wow.
Aether though, I gotta have to leave it to Aether. This guy has been nibbling these retributions. Yo, if not for the Lord, I don't think that there will be
so much. And the MVP, of course, no other than it is going to be Van here on that 1-1. Still 1-1, very viable here.
Very viable.
And I thought it is going to be fighter gold lanes here, but having a 1-1 left open, it only shows the late game. It's just very scary.
Still does a lot of work, and especially since this is, I think, sub 13 minutes, if I'm not wrong about that. But he's gotten quite a bit of farm. Remember that defense up in the top lane for T2? Man, that was big and powerful. Came in pretty amazingly as well with that, with that ultimate as well, right? That Raging Sandstorm.
Yeah, that was beautiful play. One of the books. I think that was the play of the game, if I'm going, in my opinion there. But don't get me wrong here, Abstract. Especially during the early to mid, Lolsey has been giving some incredible shot calls there on his teleport on the chip. He was been giving opportunities for his team to actually go for this pick of plays, go pressure across the lanes until that Raging Sandstorm play.
Oh man, oh man. Now, of course, it is, you know, when it comes down to equipment, we have got, you know, okay, actually there's not much to talk about, to be fairly honest, because Evil, they have got a lot of items that really just helps them out. And when it comes down to Van, he even did manage to pick up the Athena shield, knowing that there are, 3 magical damage dealers over on Kingdom Esports. So it makes very good sense. In fact, Van even half built onto the Rosali's robe in order to get more of the magical reduction in the early stages. So you don't get popped that early by the magical damage dealers.
Especially with Bane here in the gold lane. We know how he can burst down anyone here over the Divine Glade. We've seen the damage as well. But again, when it comes to a 5v5 already, especially looking at later stages of the game, the 1-1 still outplays everyone. Once the crossbow attack will commit in that kind of situation. Look at the damage here coming in from the side of Van here. He is the highest with 8. No, actually it's Gear.
This guy is just right in the face of everyone the whole time. But look at Insanity, dude. That guy have got 200,000 damage taken. Just a tad bit more than Gear, and that's totally understandable. This is just the power of XP laners, right? Nowadays, XP laners, they're taking more damage than roamers.
That is correct.
It's
and
very
roamers,
different now.
And roamers right now taking so much gold than gold.
Honestly, I think it's shifted, right?
Yeah.
Roamers are no longer the tanks. The roamers are just like information gainers.
Information gainers, yes, I love it. And also utility givers as well.
Yeah. The entire thing has kind of shifted now. XP laners, as long as you have got good kind of lockdown and perhaps even sustainability, I think that those